going on, people? Back home again. Can't make no money if you ain't driving. Got to keep the left lane or the left door closed. Gotcha. There's a bolt missing or something there. Anywho, I'm not doing a how you do it video. That's not what this is. But I will show you what I've done other than what's under the truck, because as everyone knows, I've talked about it before, I've got a slow leak on this truck, and I've been chasing it. So I took the side cover off, climbed under, squirted a bunch of stuff, and for whatever reason, the third tank, the back tank, they have a drain valve on both ends. Well, the one on the end I can just look at doesn't leak, but the one under the truck that I couldn't see, that one leaked. So I've replaced that with just a plug, because I don't need two valves besides the one that the tag Freightliner dealer and Tupelo gave me was wrong size. I told him it was wrong size when he handed it to me. Oh no, that should fit. Okay, well, you're gonna get it back when I go back next time. I'm sure there's gonna be a next time. But the other thing is, we replaced the radiator and a thermostat, and we still continued. It wasn't getting hot, but it was running warm, and it was building too much pressure in the system, which it should not do. 16 psi should be the maximum. I don't know if it says on the lid, but it should be as hot as it should get. Anyway, or as pressurized as it can get. So what I did, and I'll show you. You can see I got the cover off so I could get down there and look. But I put a new reservoir tank on there. That was 100 and something. Can't remember now. 158 or something like that. And then back here, that little doohickey with the purple hose going to it and the plug connector, that's the switch for the fan clutch. So just to be proactive, I went ahead and replaced that too. That was another $60-something, I think it was. Because when I go back out, the last thing I want to take a chance on is overheating this thing and causing other issues, because it just runs too good majority of the time. And again, it doesn't burn antifreeze, because once it would cool off and the pressure would go down in the system, it would be right back to the same mark it was before I started. And then it doesn't burn any oil, which is another plus. Something falling out of a tree somewhere. So, you know, you can't beat that. 620,000 miles and it doesn't burn any oil. Again, I'm leaning toward positive that they may have already done something major to this before I got a hold of it. So who knows what, but as long as it stays what it stays. But anyhow, the other part of this video, Red Duchess, love the hair, by the way. If anybody's wondering, she had her hair done in a previous video. It looks good. But I just wanted to say thanks for the video about the SBA loan. Hadn't thought about that, but it is good information for others, so I checked into it a little more so I could give some more information. SBA, they have a emergency injury disaster loan, EIDL loan, COVID-19 loan for businesses, small businesses. It's not free money. It's not PPP. It's a loan. It's a low interest, long-term loan that you can apply for. And if you get it, The payments are deferred for 12 months, so you don't have to make a payment for the first 12 months, which payments are low. Like, again, it's like a 30-year mortgage. It's a 30-year loan. Obviously, you don't want it to go 30 years because you don't want to pay that interest all that time. But it gives you the opportunity to pay it back. All you do is you go on the site. You're looking for, again, COVID-19 Emergency Injury Disaster Loan, EIDL. They have an EIDL Advance. That one's no longer good, so don't even mess with it. But you go in, you put your information in. They're going to ask for your business name, which is your name. And then they're going to ask you for your trade name, which is if you have an LLC or whatever your business is, you run under. You put that in. You put all your information in. You put in your gross revenue for the last 12 months. You get that in there. Basically 2020 is what they're looking for. And it'll tell you how much you're eligible for. And then you can either, you can apply for that amount or anything under that. I will tell you, if it's over $25,000, if the loan is going to be over $25,000, $25,000 or higher, they are going to ask you for collateral, equipment, whatever you can use as collateral. You have to own it, obviously. It can't be leased because it's not your equipment per se. It's leased. It has to be your company's property to use it as collateral. So, but anything under that, you don't have to have collateral to get the loan. They do check your credit, so that is going to happen. They're not just going to throw out money to just everybody. They will do a credit check. They're going to check to make sure you're, just like any loan, able to pay it back. Or at least you have a history of paying your bills. So that's going to happen. So yeah, and then once you do all that process, they are going to obviously review it, and then they'll let you know if you can get it. Now, the one thing about it is you can't take this loan, and if you go watch Red Duchess, she has 2 videos on this, and she might have information in there that I'm missing. I'm doing this video as an addition to hers, in case I have subscribers and viewers that do not watch her channel. But she did a good couple of videos on it. You can't take the loan and just go buy a car or take a trip to the Virgin Islands, or Vegas. They do strongly recommend on the website, if you look at the details, that you keep good receipts for 3 years to show where you're spending the money. Me, I have a business account. I would have the money put into my business account, and then I would, me myself, if I did it, I would pay off debt. I have some small debt, trying to recoup, like the $3,000 for the radiator. At the beginning of the pandemic, when everything went crazy and nobody really knew what was going on, we were still running, but we didn't run nowhere near as hard as we wanted. We stayed to the house more, just to lessen the contact with others. Obviously we ran more once things got kind of sorted out as to what was what, and the precautions we could take to try to keep ourselves as safe as we could. But loss of revenue from running, that's a valid reason to take the loan, but you can use it for operating expenses, fixing the truck, anything to have to do with the truck. Like me, this week I am planning on taking out my own insurance. I've already verified that it meets the requirements of F2F, so I'm going to take out my own insurance and get a hold of the DMV, because I do want to put my own plate on the front of this truck, especially if it's going to save me $300 or $400 every 6 months. Why wouldn't you? So I'm going to do that. You know, among other things. But from what I've seen on the information for this loan, once they process it and review it and okay it, it takes an additional 5 to 10 business days. I think that's what it said. 5 to 10 business days for you to receive those funds into your account. Again, for at least 3 years. If you do something like this, keep the receipts, keep the proof of where you spent the money. You don't, you know, last thing anybody wants is to do something like that and then, like I said, blow it on something frivolous, and then you got somebody showing up at your door wanting to know, not that they'd show up to your door, but you know what I mean, someone asking you for documentation of where the money's been used. Some people might say it's them knowing your business. Listen, you know, they're offering assistance, and there might be some guys that, you know, some people may have gotten sick and they were down for that. They may have had family they got sick and they were down for that. This helps recoup some of them losses that you may have incurred because of that. And the government wanting to make sure that they don't have people just taking the money and running. You know, it's not a bad thing for them to want to track that. They're not going to track it, but you know, if they come asking, you better be able to supply proof. We're not rich like Tom Brady. We can't take a PPP loan and just walk away. That just doesn't happen. Poor people gotta show proof. So yeah, but I just thought I would add the video on, standing outside on a beautiful day down here. Trees are budding, flowers are out, bees are buzzing, and I'm working on my truck. So as always, I appreciate you guys taking time. Be safe. We'll talk to you.